I don't even look like myself anymore. That's just how we're going to start this one. I don't even know how many seconds into it that it starts to kick on. But anyways, here we are. And today we are doing the scrolling through new music. I'm setting up my weekly discovery right now. As it is, I'm scrolling with the tablet. This is the weekly discovery via the Spotify algorithms. I know that Spotify's catching a whole lot of heat from a lot of people in the music industry, as well as other things that they seem to be supporting. I don't want to get into politics on the channel because everybody's going to have an opinion and a point of view and a set of knowledge points or data points, and we all kind of think and feel a little bit differently about everything that kind of happens in the world. So I don't really want to get into politics on the channel. It's not something that I've seen inspires a lot of great outcomes. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy our lives. There's a place and time for all of that, and that's totally okay, but we're not going to be doing it today. So without further ado, I don't know where my friends are at this time of the day, but we are going to do the weekly discovery playlist as provided by my Spotify algorithm, be it that it will summarize and suggest songs and artists from things that I've been listening to and scrolling through for the past week. So we're going to get things started. We'll give about a minute per track. I'll try to display the song on the screen here so you can look it up yourself. And then we'll just talk about whatever comes to mind along the way. We'll see how this stuff goes. The video will be flagged by copyright, so any kind of support for the channel will be great, welcomed, significant. I noticed that I had a 5 or 6 person subscriber drop off in the last day, so 5 people down. I don't know why that the case may be. I'm not sure if it's something that I posted. I'm not sure if it's just part of the algorithm itself. Not everybody enjoys the content, but then sometimes there's subscribers from a long time that just kind of don't like the channel or not interested anymore. Maybe the accounts get canceled and then the subscriber count changes. But anyways, here we are. First song of the Discovery playlist. It's Zephier Aeros. I Was There. This is some really chill, bassy music. Tommy Pickles subscribed. Thank you for being here, my friend. And we are going to scroll through about a minute or so. See, the intro for these songs is about a minute long, so I got to let them scroll a little bit. Just to update on the system, it's Buckeye amplifiers, SVS subwoofers, Arundel sound towers. Those are the 1723 towers. We are listening through the Rotel preamp, and I've got the Weem Pro Plus streamer there in the background, and that's kind of what's going on. I do have lighting effects. There's a laser light projector that's projecting there. Let me hold the camera steady. You can see that it cycles through the blue and red sort of colors. That's from this little guy right here. That's what that box is right here. I do have a lot of CDs for my system. There is a Rotel CD player there, but we're not going to be using the CD player for today. The purpose of the episode is just to showcase what the algorithm is talking about and things that is suggested. If you have any suggestions for socks, let me know. A lot of people don't like my feet in videos, but I really don't care. Real Cool Kid says hi, what's going on? So we're going to hit the next song. Let's see what the algorithm gives us. Home Alone, that's a great movie. It seems like a pretty chillaxed song. So I just saw this one, My For You page, and I'm going to keep watching. Should keep up a small content creator, and I love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Tommy. That's really cool. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Music has been a really big part of my life for many, many years. So I want to share the music with other people, and not everybody's gonna like it. I'm not on here to make everyone happy. If I can reach out to and I can suggest some cool music to at least a few people every week, then that's okay with me. We got some rain going on outside, so that's Home Alone monoblock, which is very audio specific. So let's see what's up with the next one. This is Electronic Visions, Tales of Forgotten Biomes. That's a pretty cool name. Sounds like another chillaxed song. Again, this is whatever the algorithm picked for me this week. The songs are going to be as suggested by the summary, and then I might be able to get into some other songs later on, and we'll see if any of those are of interest to anybody. Typically, these videos being copyright, they don't get around to a lot of people, so they're not shared the same way. The algorithm tends to like a lot of stuff that's more popular, more monetized. Sharing music seems to be the kind of thing that radio stations and networks and labels are up to. They want to make as much money as possible because music is a commodity these days. It's no longer just an art form, right? So that one is Electronic Visions, Tales of Forgotten Biomes. Very nice song. It's relaxing. Pretty good bass. This one's Just Stacey Things, Truffle Salt. Sounds like a downstep sort of. Tommy's asking, are you suggesting songs? No, not really, no. This is a discovery playlist. This is songs that Spotify is suggesting for me. So I'm scrolling through what Spotify selected for me, and if they sound interesting, you can look them up, but you don't have to. This is just, like, let's see what the algorithm suggested for me this week. And sometimes they're really cool songs, and sometimes they're kind of boring. It just really depends. So the songs are on screen so that anybody watching can browse for them, have a look. It sounds like it's all pretty relaxing stuff this week. To be honest, I didn't do a whole lot of listening because I had some other issues this week. The unfortunate event of my floors flooding earlier in the week. I had the water from outside the building. They water the grass or something, and they have an access point, a water spout on the outside of the building. So if you see in my previous videos, this whole area right here, this whole area across this whole section, this was all covered in water, and it got wet like all the way up to here. There was water all soaked into the carpet. So I had to remove the carpet, lift everything up, move everything over. The whole system was kind of taken apart earlier in the week. And this is the first time I've gotten to listen to music all week, really. Not even listening to music at work. That's like, they don't really like that too much. And then riding my bike back home and forth from work, it's not really safe to be, completely isolated. So I don't actually listen to all that much music. I should try to listen to a lot more, but that's how it is. So Alex Boychuk, Colors. I actually remember a friend of mine a long time ago had a last name by Boychuk. Interesting. It's pretty relaxing vibes here this week. If you guys check it out, I've got the Bass Brings Us Together shirt. Let me flip this shit around for a second. Bass Brings Us Together podcast by Scott and Kat. This is the shirt that I got from them. I know that it looks backwards, but you can get these get these at their website. They sell the merch, so you can grab these if you're interested. I don't have the link for it right now, but I can get the link afterwards. So that's Colors. Let's see what the next one is. Most of these are pretty laid back sounds so far. Eternal Flowers, Naoki Mama. I don't even know how to pronounce those words, those names. Those are pretty intense names. Thanks for that. I appreciate the sympathy for the flooding. Yeah, it was not good. Both rooms, my other room with the home theater system and the carpet in that room, I had to remove the carpet and then lift everything off the floor, and I had to basically dry everything out. Got a dehumidifier, used the air conditioner, I used towels. The maintenance and the landlord brought in a shop vac, so we were literally vacuuming some of the water out of the carpet. Really sucks. And I've mentioned to that team multiple times that they need to fix and repair and look into the issue so that it doesn't continue to happen every time that they use it. But for whatever reason, their documents got signed off and then they still did it anyways. So I'll be following up with that. But in the meantime, Diddy Kraz, Crazy World. Yeah, these are all relaxing songs. I might do my release radar right after this if you guys want to hang on. Yeah, the shirt. Bass Brings Us Together. It's a channel, Living It with Scott and Kat. You can, I wish I could put it in the chat, but I don't have the ability to do that. So I'm clicking on all messages here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I do appreciate everybody hanging out. I don't have the link for that at this moment. I wish that I did have the link for their channel, but it's out there. I'll try to link it in the description, and then you guys can check out their webpage and the podcast. They do a lot of bass content, a lot of talking with community, people in the industry. They do home demos in the Chicagoland area. Streetlights, this is Slow 5. Yeah, this is really relaxing music today. All kinds of like elevator music, so they would say. Very down-tempo, chillax music. Usually there's a little bit more excitement in the music. The suggestions have a little bit more life, but not this week. Everything's a little down, a little slower. Sad Toy, Melting Ice. Yeah, it sounds like it's really hot everywhere today. The weather is crazy. Make sure to get a drink, stay hydrated. Water is good for you. Make sure you're drinking your water. It's got a cool kind of beat to it. I like that. Pretty cool. Let's see what else is on this list. Between I Am and You Are, Don Felipe. Yeah, I might do the release radar. So if you come in, you're going to hang out for a little bit. I'll try to zip through the release radar playlist. It'll probably be a lot more exciting. I'll see if there's anything interesting on that list. The release radar is typically a little bit more random. Not as selected as the algorithm here is showing. But we are going through the playlist just to see what Spotify has for me this week. Now, everybody's going to have one of these lists. If you have an account, if you have an account with Spotify or any streaming platform like I do here, right? They're going to have this weekly discovery list that is curated for each listener. It says weekly mixtape is fresh, enjoying new music and deep cuts picked for you. So that's every week they'll have like a new list, and all of the stuff is off of the list from me this week. The reason why I share it is my list is not going to be like your list, and maybe some of these songs would be interesting. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. That's just what we get. Tommy's asking who else is on your stream. No, I stream on my own. Is there two people? This is still me in the mirror. That's why I have the mirror. So you can see my system and you can see me at the same time. It's a little weird. I know a lot of people don't really do that, but that's how I'm doing it. All right, let's switch it up. Odyssey, Aquarius, like the astrology sign. Let's see what this sounds like. On chat, there's not that many people watching, to be honest. And every week it's different. Sometimes my friends are around. Some weekends are busy. Sometimes the notifications don't reach a lot of people. And sometimes, you know, like it's a lot of people will tune in and they're watching on a TV for a little while. And when you're watching on a TV, there's no ability to chat from a TV. Typically just on a computer, desktop, mobile phone, you can have chat conversation. But if people are tuning in for the reel or the live or the video and they happen to catch it on a TV, they're not able to comment on the songs. But I'm going to post them up here and people can rewatch it if they want. The whole point is sharing music, and that's why I'm here every week. Cozy couch, themes. This is probably AI music. That doesn't even look like a real turntable. So for sure that's an AI image. Hummingbird. See, that's a really strange thing about music these days. It's become such a commodity in a marketing industry that they're using any means at all to produce and sell and use music for selling things. The art form of music is almost lost in the business now. But you know what? That's why we look. We look for the real artists. We look for the real special stuff out there. And if we don't browse and look for music, then we will never find it. So here's a song called Zero. I thought it was raining outside, but it's actually the details in the song. Interesting. It's very laid back. Semhe Soit, I don't know how to say that, music, saying, hey, I've got 80 unreleased compositions waiting to see the light. Wow, that's actually a lot. Once I handle the production side, I'm coming to shake the game. Sounds like a very interesting plug. Not a lot of people watching and not a lot of subscribers on the channel. So keep pushing, keep producing. As you know what? The real bit is, as long as you love it, as long as you enjoy what you're doing and you are happy with the results, then that's what matters. It's an art form. Music as a business is a completely other thing. So 80 unreleased compositions is a lot. I'd love to know how you made 80 unreleased. That's a lot. So, you know, some albums are only 10 songs by bands that produce and write their own music. So to have 80 pieces, you know, that's interesting. Anyways, there is Elure Sebastian Kame Zero, pretty relaxed tune. Very, very laid back. Kodomo Concept 1. It's actually a really interesting image. Power lines. Sounds Japanese, the name anyways. Sounds cool. Tommy makes a joke about something you see in the media all the time. You see that little video clips on Instagram of things like that happening. It's not really funny, but at AGMW Beachside, yeah, these are all really chillax music. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it to the release radar. Okay, so this is release radar. This is going to be all kinds of different music. We're going to hit them in order instead of doing the weekly discovery, because the weekly discovery seems to be very laid back this week. So let's go with the release radar, and we're going to first hit Lee McKenna. He's a guitarist from Born of Osiris and now independent apparently he had just left the band, and this is one of his songs. So let's check out some different kind of music here. This is Lee McKinney, Good Ground. Yeah, he's been doing his own release music in the last little while, so we'll see what's up for him, and let's see what's going on with this Release Radar playlist instead. Should be much more exciting. Semhai Music gave me his name on Spotify and says, listen please, not today. I know what it means to hustle the music and the advertising, but not in here. Yeah, that's all right. If you keep typing it, I'll just block you. All right, next song on the list. Cassiopeia P4 Administration. This sounds like a really big band sort of thing. Pretty cool. Let's check this out, see what's on the list for me today. Pretty relaxing sound. Sounds like a live recording, if I'm honest. All right, let's see what else is on the list. This is Aura's Null. I know Aura's is a metal band. They should go heavy. Oh yeah, that's heavy. Pretty clean sound though. It's mixed well. I think Auras has a new album. This is Siren Shade. So this song is called Null by Auras. All right. Next.
What kind of music is this?
Vasi, geriatric bass. Bass brings us together, baby.
I do like getting down to the bass. Beat, bop, boom, waka, boing, boing, shibbity bump, wiki.
It's pretty bouncy. I like that. Vasi's been in the game a long time. Geriatric bass. That's hilarious. All right. Let's see what else is on the list. Aggressor Bunks Flashback. This is going to be some heavy as shit drum and bass. Pretty cool stuff. Look at that image. Aggressor Bunks is always my go-to. Pretty amazing stuff. Really, really good bass too. Oh gosh. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's a good one. I like that shit. Got a little bit of a flutter going in the subwoofer on that one. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. I like this one. Aggressor Bunks is always one of my favorites. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I love discovering new music, but I'm not as susceptible as people coming into a live stream and starting to advertise for their own live music. That's a completely different thing. This is a live chat based on a purpose that I put forward, and if somebody else wants to come and advertise for it, that's a little different. I'm into discovering it, not having somebody shove it in my face. Tempted, Blade Runner remix. Natty Lou, Gemma Rose, Blade Runner. Blade Runner is also one of my favorite. That looks like a Disney movie sort of poster. Anyways, I got the name there in the link. I'll have it in the chat. I can look it up at any other time, my man. Yes? No? All right, let's listen to some Blade Runner. Damn, that's a banger. Ooh, Blade Runner is another one of my absolute favorites. Bruh. Bruh. This guy says bruh. Fucking later, bro. Bruh. Good luck with the music. Blade Runner's definitely winning the game. All right. Let me drop back here. Let me see what else is on this playlist. Metallic Life Review. So these guys use like all kinds of random sounds and effects in live recordings to make all kinds of sounds. It's pretty cool. In the recording here, like you can hear the sound staging and everything is shifting from left to right. Pretty cool stuff. Not a whole much of a song. It's really cool sounds though. Bjorn Lynn often uses some atmospheric and very sort of relaxing sounds in the music. Let's check out what this song's all about. Hey, to anybody else who watches this back in the replay, or anybody that's in the chat, like, I don't mind having conversations that are like civil and relaxed in chat, and oftentimes people will come in with an agenda and they push and they push and they push and they start to like make an argument in the chat, and I don't want to see any of that. I mean, it's cool to just mention something and say, hey, like I do this is what I'm into, that's all good, well and fine. I don't mind hearing about it, but I don't really want someone to be insistent and persistent and pressing and pushing and then making debates and arguments about certain facts or whatever in a chat. That's not the place for it. We're here for some new music, and I'm here to share the joy of these kinds of things. I don't need to be distracted by people and their egos or their agendas, and they're hassling certain things. So that's why I handle my chat the way that I do. I warn people, I say as much, and then if they continue to be a little more persistent, then, you know, there's only one thing to do for it. Let's see what else is on this playlist. Dre Shotgun and a remix of their own song. Cool. All right, this is going to be drum and bass 100%. Let's see what he does. And people might be wondering about the stands. I'm planning on putting the Radiant acoustics here so I can listen to either the tower or the bookshelf, but I'm gonna have to bring them in the room and then try them out, see how it sounds. I don't want to bring them in raw and then not know how they're tuned up well. I mean, right now the subwoofers are tuned for the towers, not for the bookshelves. Shotgun. This is on the release radar list for me this week. The Discovery Weekly was very boring, so I decided to move over to the other playlist. Ooh, lots of bass. Pretty cool. Doesn't sound anything like a shotgun. Let's see what else is on the list. PTR Horizon. This sounds like it might be very relaxing. That's why I like scrolling through playlists that are a bit random and discovering new music that way. Is the chances that you're going to come across something different, and the fact that the vibe is going to change from song to song is usually pretty high. So from one really exciting high energy song, now we get this one and it's like way more relaxed, way more calm. It's still kind of bassy, it's still electronic, but it's not the same vibe. And I think that's really cool about listening to a list that's curated from suggestions, that you get a sample of different kinds of sounds. You get to scroll through them and discover what it's like. Font Case, probably going to be like dubstep-ish. Death Stomp VIP, interesting. I don't always listen to dubstep. It's a little slow for me. So we'll see how this starts up, and then I'll just switch it over. My friend Tommy's gone now. Tommy's checked out for the day.
Goodbye.
Death Stomp.
Wow. Very, very low and aggressive. Holy shit. Alright. See what else is on the list. Slang Dogs, Blurred Vision, Depth Bloom. I like this Blurred Vision guy. I think he's got some other songs that are pretty cool. Very low bass, textured low end. Very kind of cool songs. The last little while, I've been discovering them over the last week.
Put your hand
cool sound. I actually like this tune. Blurred Vision does it well. Let's see what else is on the list. We scroll through here, 30 or so seconds, maybe a minute. DJ Hansen, Busta Rhymes, Ritz, Master Ace. What is this? Gonna be hip hop for sure, right? Let's see if I'm right. DJ Hansen, though, I don't know that name. It could actually be like a trap mix, dubstep mix. But my bet is hip hop. Yeah, I called it. A new hip hop track there with Busta Rhymes in it. Skip. Walk Off the Earth, Our Home. Sounds like country music. Daniel's here. What's going on? Yeah, going through the music playlist, release radar. So this is the recent one. Appreciate the comment. I do like to see friends in chat in the conversation. This one will get me blocked for sure. Can't play that one. Sincado's not going to get me blocked though. Mother of God. I think that's what I'm going to say about this track too. He's an amazing guitarist. Let's see where he takes us on this journey. Typically some really amazing music. I've been playing his stuff at sound demos at HiFi shows. Really good layering, really good guitar work. That's Sincado. See how he tells this story. Join in here for a minute. Oh wow. He's letting. He let it open quite a bit. Oh, there we go. I like it. It's a pretty funky track. A lot of instrumental sort of stuff that's like panning left and right. The chattery sort of cymbal work. Pretty cool. All right. We'll see what else is next on this list. Mindy Abar, Bobby Lyle, 3rd Street Promenade. I'm going to say jazz. The piano didn't give it away. Jazz fusion. Something like that. Pretty good work. And this is why finding songs like this is the reason why I scroll through these playlists to find like new stuff. So if I find one new song every week out of 30 songs, maybe even 3 or 4 songs every week, it can build up a pretty respectable playlist. And if I didn't get brave and I didn't want to share any of the music, then I wouldn't even come across this stuff at all. So it's actually a really cool exercise. Really great recording on the saxophone. So let's let it break for a minute. Oh yeah. Some vibes right there. All right. Let's see what else we can discover. Slick Music, Vacancy, Vandal Andrew. Some more saxophone, a little more digital, a lot more reverb, slower bass, I bet. Ooh, electronic sub bass. Oh, it lets it drop all the way down too. It's like a slide into the 30 hertz range. Yeah, it's a little more digital sounding. the last one was pretty good. Somebody's on mushrooms. Bernard Koffler. Liquid moves? Yeah, I bet liquid moves. Liquid moves all over your face. Some more saxophone. Look at this. You hit a whole bunch of EDM tracks back to back, and then all of a sudden 3 jazz songs back to back. Interesting, interesting. A little bit more instruments doubled up there on this sound. Sounds like a saxophone and guitar mixed up. There you go. Check that one out if you wish. Let's see what's next. The release radar has been pretty good. Pink Flamingo, Carol Albert. It's another jazzy track. This is actually pretty cool. I bet my Fisher 16-inch speakers would eat that system up. Ha ha ha. I've stumbled upon porn. Right here. There you go. Break out the towel. Go for it. Giving it to you for free right there. That's Carol Albert. Let's see what else is on here. This is like 3 or 4 jazz songs in a row. Ooh, Korean. This should be really interesting. Acoustic guitar. We'll see what happens with this one. This is how I find new music every week. So sometimes it's not the greatest for everyone. I got bass on my shirt, bro. Can you read it? Can you read it backwards from there? Got the bass already. And if you want to make a suggestion, or if you want to request some stuff, then yeah, that's totally we can do that. But this isn't the all request hour. It's a discovery playlist. Every week I do a discovery playlist. If anybody wants me to do an all request, and they can toss me like $3 or something, I'll do a exclusive live playlist just for people, and I'll wear whatever color socks you want. Just pay me. Acoustic Alchemy, Aliso. This is some reggae sound. That's unusual for my playlist. I don't often get reggae in my list. Diesel Power. I like that song. To be honest, I actually had Fat of the Land, the album, the actual LP vinyl, when I was a kid. When that album came out, I bought it on vinyl a long time ago. Just never really played it on vinyl, so yeah, you guys have stumbled upon my weekly discovery list where I'm scrolling through my library. Whatever songs are on this list, that's what I'm playing. I had someone come in and try to suggest their own songs, and they got blocked, so Fat of the Land bought that CD. I need to get that CD again. Let's see what else is on this list. Let me guess, it's a guitar player. What do you think? Couldn't be, right? No way. Couldn't make it that obvious. Lee Mack, Nathan Mitchell. Let's listen to a couple seconds, then we'll move on. I don't know how many songs are left, but probably not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more songs, and then we're done here. I might put on Diesel Power at the end if you guys stick around. All right? If I see you in the chat still, I'll play it at the end. Good deal? I'll be nice. I'll play it at the end. I'll even play one song by that guy that got blocked. Fuck it. Maybe I'll make his day. Slanging that guitar. All right. What else is next? Patrick Yandall, The Window. No shit. Another guitar player with a guitar. Is this a trend? Is this what they do? It's so funny. It's in my old house. I had a Yamaha amp Mordaunt, short floor standers. Mordaunt? I've never even heard of that. Onkyo sub, Rube Shakers. Miss them dearly. Wow. There's a lot of old stuff that I've had that I miss too. Most of them family members. Patrick Yandall. Let's see what else is up. We have 4 more after this. Wow, that's a lot of people. I'm not reading all their names. Usain Beckarov? Beckarov? Sounds Russian, yeah? I don't know, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Yeah, a lot of old gear. I had Sherwood back in the day, Pioneer. I mean, I'm not as old as some of the audience, can be. But in my day, Sherwood and Pioneer were there. Paradigm I started listening to. Pretty much anything I can get my hands on. But I did DIY a bunch of stuff from Radio Shack, so does that make me old? Let's see what else is up. Tommy Davidson, Byron Miller, Come Take My Hand. Hippie jazz, right? Maybe? Oh, it's funk. Oh, damn. Yeah, Mordaunt shorts, I can understand, but it's not capitalized, so it doesn't sound like a proper brand name. I'm reading the chat, like you capitalized England, but Mordaunt shorts is the name of something. I didn't understand it meant it was a brand name of something. I mean, I got it from context, but Mordaunt, I'm gonna have to look it up because apparently I'm not that well informed. Still have them in the garage. Damn. See what kind of respect we show our audio gear? Just stuff them in the garage and all right, True Voice of Reason's broken the seal. What's going on, man? We're about 3 or 4 songs from the end of the show, but I'm gonna turn up the juice with the last request. If the guy's still here. If he's not here, I'm not playing it. Fabia Mondwill Orchestra? Whirl the Wheel. Interesting. Wow, look. She's not holding a violin or anything close to a window. My house is 500-year-old cottage. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's actually really old. I'm not going to ask where, but that's pretty significant. Life Break, let's see. Life Break came in asking about some bass and then dipped out. Didn't even stick around, or at least he's not chatting. And I forgive you if you're around. The kit is beautiful. Well, thank you. Let me do a tour before I end. Since I see some new names, let's do the full round. It's a purpose-built room, 2-channel, 500-watt monoblocks, SVS subs, Arundel 1723 towers, England, cool. Well, I definitely feel for what's happening to the country over there. Rest in peace, free speech. It's kind of bad. Well, the curtains help with the absorption and then the diffraction across the middle. It's not really soundproof, but it's definitely treated. My other room has the home theater. So I've got the computer desk with the 2-channel, and then all my theater stuff is set up aside from that. So I am blessed with 2 rooms, one of them dark, one of them light. And yeah, that's how it is. I make videos here every once in a while, content with the community, friends. I have know a lot of the guys in the business, and I try to keep up, just trying to have fun. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to advertise. I'm here to just make a community and entertain those who come for a laugh. So, True Voice of Reason's like, you got me. Covington, mine's only 117 years old. Yeah, I think mine back home is only 110, so That is what it is. All right. I'm going to switch up the song. We're going to put on one song. I'm going to let you listen to one of the last songs, and I'm going to have to make a detour while we're live here. All right, that's our last song. Roberto Dinatada. This is actually a pretty nice sounding song. You forgive me if I leave the room for just a minute. I have some things to handle per se. Keep the chat going. I'll come back and read the comments, and give me a minute, maybe less. Wow. That was a lot longer than I thought. That's what happens. That's what I get for having something delicious before I sit down to do a live. You have a home theater. Some people here have tomb heaters. Yeah. That's a very clever one. I like that. Here, not here, auto-correct. Has some serious kit. I've been collecting for a long time. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fahrenheit 451 all over again. Good kit in time customizing setup for space. Yeah. The wall treatments I got from Amazon, they're double-sided tape. I actually tape the seams too. So they're all instead of this. The bottom, not completed, it's still open to the wall. There's foam wedges in the back corner, foam against the window there to make it symmetrical, and then I've got some panels in the back to absorb some of the bass on that side, and then some of the reflections are soaked up by these panels just sort of on the ceiling. So here we are at the last song for this list. Let me see. Yamaha Amp Die moved to the house, put in the attic. Mice got inside and pissed on the board. Oh God, no, Yamaha. Why? Replace things, but consistently faulted. Yeah, that's not good. Had studio speakers, audio engine 5s. That's pretty cool. Died all of a sudden. That sucks when powered speakers die, because then like everything is gone. So that sucks. Tape the seams, attention to detail. Nice, yeah, exactly. I am somewhat attention detailed. I try to get like even my reflections on the ceiling. The spacing here is the same for both sides. The symmetry in the room is basically the same. You know how it is, physics. Physics and math and all those things, they're very specific. So when you're doing things with, when you're doing things with audio, the physics of acoustics in the room they really interact with symmetry and specifics. The details are exactly what make or break that, that significant sort of 5 to, or 10, 5, or even 3%. And if you can get the details right, you find certain resonances, certain weak points, certain areas. Like I'm using the isoacoustic isolators for all the speakers. You can see there I have them on the subwoofers and for the towers. And then in my other room, the other room that we were just browsing through, all the speakers out there, or at least the 2-channel speakers for my computer, those are also isoacoustic protected. And small details like resonance control actually helped a lot of the sound clarity and tightness of the bass, because the way that the cabinets are moving, they're not completely inert, right? The weight of the drivers does have some effect. And when you can isolate it or dampen it out somehow, then you get a little bit more. So yeah, also, if you notice, not my feet and this stupid tan line that I have around my ankles. Look at that. And then up here, because I always wear my pants like that. I don't know why I'm showing a tan line, but whatever. It's a weird fucking channel, okay? I'm weird. The channel's weird. Content's weird. I mean, are we really happy and satisfied with pre-programmed scripted bullshit these days? No. Is what it is. All right, so these amp stands, I made these amp stands. Those are like chest of drawers legs, footers, and those are bamboo cutting boards. And I made the amp stands, and thank God, because if you watch my other videos, this whole area last week got flooded, or earlier this week. This whole space, pretty much to the mirror, all the way up this wall, all of this got wet. This was all wet. So the footers, the stand there, the cable risers in the back, yes. I've even got elevators for my cables. Look at that. They're clear. You almost didn't even see them, but there they are. I'm not selling those yet, but I really wish I could get a vendor in a place to make those for me, and I would sell them. So I did let me see. Covington says, I actually like that in Covington. My last name is pure English. There's an area in England, west of London, southwest and north of Brighton, with the area of my last name. True Voice of Reason knows the name, but don't put it in YouTube chat. It's pretty cool. English, Irish descent. My family is from Newfoundland, Canada. So when we're drunk, everybody sounds the same. Says, I did the caps are destroyed, couldn't see the specs to replace. I even used the thermal imaging camera to find out hotspots. That's actually pretty cool. But gave up. I bought a Sony brand soundbar for my new PC. That's, you know what, as long as you get to the information and you can listen to the music, I don't care what anybody uses. I only care about how they argue about it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Everybody can listen to what they want. But as soon as we start making statements about it, you can be right or wrong. I do have neighbors, actually. Lizard, one word YouTube name. Lizard. That's pretty funny. First time seeing your name, so if you're new, shout out. Thank you for being here and joining. All right, I'm gonna do one favor for the guy who was in here before. What's the name? Life Breaks. Life Break. I don't know who he is. I hope that I made this account at 13. Yeah, I remember I remember Hotmail days. MSN names. No, we're gonna play one request song for the guy who was in here before. True Voice of Reason saying gotta run, be right back. Hopefully not too long. Probably be done by then if I'm honest, but thanks for being around. I'm gonna play one song and hopefully it doesn't get everything deleted, but this song goes way back and someone suggested it earlier, so we're gonna listen to this tune. I actually bought and owned this vinyl when I was a kid, so we're gonna play this one for the buddy that jumped in here, was talking about bass. You guys see bass on the shirt. You can check out Living It with Scott and Kat. Living It with Scott and Kat podcast. They have a merch line that's basically called Bass Brings Us Together. I got the shirt on right now. I don't have a link, but I'll put it in the description. And I think Life Breaks might have been a friend of Scott's. So yeah, the setup is pretty cool, right? Buckeye amplifiers, Purify modules, SVS 12-inch subwoofers, SB1000s, Arundel towers. So 91 dB sensitivity, 500 watts into 4 ohms. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Then a Rotel preamp, CD player, the Tribute CD player, and then a dedicated streamer. That's the Ween Pro Plus. So that's about as good as you can get. The Texas Instrument DAC is doing the work. 192 kilohertz output PCM, USB 2 or coaxial actually from here. So yeah, I've got it all dialed in here, and then the room is tuned specifically with materials and reflective surfaces. So I've got all of the sound staging and everything works together in here. It might not be everybody's taste, but it works really good for me right now. The only problem I have is I have a 50 hertz bump, but the subs are offset, so the phase in the subs are offset, and then I'm using parametric EQ to fix any of the mismatch between the towers and the subs. Sealed subs, ported towers, right? Is what it is. So I'm going to do one more because I remember this song better. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked, because sometimes it can. I didn't even know this was on the same album, but it is. Well, thanks to everybody who joined in and decided to give me a little bit of their time, and I appreciate that more than anything. My channel is here to be entertaining, to be sometimes informative. I sometimes have new product on here. I sometimes do reviews, but not always. I will talk about movies, I will talk about music, I will talk about instruments, I will talk about artists. Sometimes I get into psychology of things because my channel name is essentially Sci-Phonics for a reason. The Sci part of my name is psychology, and all of us have a psychology and a state of mind and a perspective and preferences and things we deal with in life. And in any good community, you're not just a member as a number, you're part of something that matters. And to me, community is the best part of the whole thing. So that's why I like to represent certain talking points, and we get into some issues on certain episodes. Not in this one on the weekend, but some other live videos. I did one last night. I do other videos throughout the week, and all suggestions in the comments are welcomed if they're reasonable and respectful. Covington Race, thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Lizard, man, I hope to see your name pop up in some other videos. That would be really cool. Usually on the weekends, my week time is pretty busy, but I appreciate it. I know it must be pretty late in the UK right now. It's 5 o'clock here, which means it must be going on 10:30 there. That's wild. I try to get the European crowd in and my midday sort of North American crowd. I'm on the Eastern Standard Time, so it's only 5:30 here. I do appreciate it. So there's my time. So there you go. I don't even know who that is. Goodbye. So I appreciate you guys for being here, hanging out, making suggestions. The music changes every week. I've got a playlist it gets updated. If there's any questions about the gear or setup or anything like that, the home theater, you can find details in other videos, so I'm open to that. I don't often have other people on my podcast. I do lives on my own from inside, but every once in a while it could change, you know? I feel like I'm yelling into the mic here. Every once in a while it could change. I like music of all kinds of genres. Electronic is really good. Bass stuff is really good. I do listen to all kinds of jazz. I have some playlists in here that you guys can check out. If you have Spotify, cool. If you don't, then you can look up that playlist on Tidal and Qobuz, and it will show up. 16 hours of music. I think it's 135 songs now. So you can check that one out. That name will pop up on Tidal and Qobuz as well. So if you're streaming any music, that's my top selections. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, let me know. My email's open. My Instagram is open. My Facebook is open. All of it is the same name. You can find me all of those different ways. If there's any feedback that you'd like to give, then that's cool. True Voice of Reason pops in, says, respect. What is that word you speak of? Yeah, absolutely. I can hear things I've never heard before in songs. With new, Grado headphones, absolutely amazing. Totally a worthwhile investment. And that's the big thing about audio, right? And a lot of people don't understand what it's about. Cracks is here. Holy shite cakes. Bro, where you been at? Introducing people to hi-fi and allowing them to hear the differences is the Pandora's box, right? It's like once you hear the differences in the songs and you hear the differences in the music, then it's like the pursuit starts. But those who have never had the opportunity to hear those differences, you know, they're at a loss, and that's really what we have to encourage. Be able to present more of these hi-fi experiences to people that have not been able to hear them before or anything like that. Let me see if I can just play a lot of these random tracks in the background. I'm going to play Sincado because his songs don't get copyright flagged or blocked, and I appreciate his music. Let me say, I've been at festivals and hi-fi events all summer. Oh yeah, which festivals? I know that they just had Rock in Park, Rock and Park, Download Festival. Obviously Munich was in May, but that's a little while now. Absolutely. So I'm an Oasis fan. Oasis for sure. Good sound, good recording. Breathing into the mic and clipping the guitars. Yes. Yeah, the clang of the guitar itself, the body of the guitar. Not just the shifting of the fingers, but like other types of subtle things in the background. Absolutely. I totally see what you mean. And that's why I like really sensitive speakers and a really fast and good transient system. Greenfield Festival in Switzerland. Cool. It is a metal festival. Awesome. I didn't even hear about that one. I need to check that out. I know Download and Rock in Park was pretty cool in Germany, so maybe some of those bands were on tour out there. They just they went down to other festivals as well. Can you name a band that was really, really memorable? I might be able to put on one tune. I like metal, especially when it's recorded well. I mean, not all metal is recorded well, let's be honest. But neither is good jazz, neither is pop music. Some of the general music that we hear out there is not really that great. I mean, it's half decent music, but the recording makes it sound terrible, so you don't want to listen to it. Or at least I don't. That's the way it is for me, at least. I'm a quality snob. Greenfield Festival, that's awesome. So yeah, it was very possible. Avenged Sevenfold were there. Slipknot, yeah, Slipknot was in Download as well, so that's cool. Electric Cowboy also at Download. Recordings of Linkin Park on metal. The older stuff, I don't know, I'm not keen on the new Linkin Park. The new singer, I don't know. Something about it doesn't sit well with me. I mean, I guess I just love the older stuff. And I want to share something here with you guys. Finally hit the 1900. I have 100 more to hit 2000. God knows if that's going to happen. But I would love to double this in the next year. We'll see what happens in 26. I had a goal of hitting 2500 in 2025. Maybe I can get to 26 in 26. And we'll see what happens. That's actually a pretty good goal. And then this, don't worry about this. This is from some of the other stuff that's not doing all that great. This is the one I did last night. This one was 2 hours of a photo scroll, so if you want to see some of the photography that I did over the last little while, check that one out. Scroll to the last 30 minutes, and then you'll see all the new stuff. But thank you for this. I appreciate that. That means a lot that I'm finally getting there. It's a slow grind, but the thing is, it's not about the money. I might do some kind of special on 2K. I'm already showing my feet, so I don't know what else to do. Can you suggest something special? I can't give anything away. I don't make enough money for that. Brands are not going to give me anything to give away for 2000. I can't think of any brand that would. The few brands that I know that I'm really close with are very small brands. Because Shelly Labs, Black Ocean Audio, little brands like that in the US, Epo Sound in Poland, 2A Audio in the Europe. Yeah, not easy to do specials, you're right. Yeah, I wish I could do something special, but I don't know what I could offer, right? I like the idea. I'd love to give, if I hit 20,000, I will. 20,000, I'll definitely do something special. But it's a steady climb, right? And if I don't put the work in, then I don't deserve the rewards. And I believe in merit. I believe in doing the hard work. I believe in enduring the bullshit, including my living room and my audio room here flooding this week, drying it out, using a humidifier, using the vacuum, putting fans on the floor, sweating my ass off while I'm trying to get some sleep. Enduring all of the mess inspires the growth, and I can only hope that it's worth this journey to everyone else. I'm here doing it partially for me, but I'm also here sharing it with others, right? So in audio, it's not that easy to get big, not a big community like other stuff. Yeah, like if you're selling cars or watches or furniture or clothing or sportswear or anything else. It makes me wonder why I chose audio. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Why didn't I write children's books? If I could write children's books and have them translated into like 20 different languages, I could sell way more kids' books. Do some artwork, do some like clever sort of whatever, make some poetry. I don't know, man. Why? Exactly the point. You nailed it. Audio is such a small community. Why am I trying? You know why? You want to know why I do it though? Because we love this. We love audio. We love the music. We love being able to sit in front of a system, not necessarily put your feet up because I don't have a footstool, so that kind of sucks. But you know what I mean, to listen to the music and enjoy it. We love this stuff, and you got to do what you love. And I'm hoping that whatever it is that I'm doing is at least entertaining enough for people. I can't expect the world. I don't expect the world. I don't ever expect to be the best, but a comfortable ability to keep producing in more interesting ways, just to break even, would be enough. So yeah, me too. I don't know why I stuck with audio or audio files. It's simple. Yeah, exactly. We love this stuff, and there's no turning away. Once you're passionate, and once you believe in what you're doing, and the rewards are there for your journey, you can't turn away from it. And a lot of the professionals say, don't quit, don't give up. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep making the things that you love. Keep pursuing the things that make you happy, and then one day it can happen. So I don't necessarily want to be a famous YouTube person. That's not really what it is. I'd like to be able to travel the world and come and shake everybody's hand and say, like, hey, like, you know, what's going on? Nice to see you at home in your own area, like music festivals, at audio shows, at, you know, any kind of events, do photography, do like whatever's useful. Doesn't matter what it is. That's what I would like to do. And again, once a shout out to Scott and Kat. Scott and Kat's podcast, Bass Brings Us Together. So if you wanted to be famous, you would do something different. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right, because getting famous doing the small stuff is, yeah, exactly. You have to do something else. Advertise to a different business. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll do both. I have an idea for something else coming up that might be pretty cool. And it goes along with what I do here, because I'm unconventional, and I'm not even doing it the way that other people do it. So it makes it even harder and more difficult to break in to that kind of line, because I'm not following the edited, scripted, say only the nice things, do only the stuff that they want, get replayed in advertising. Like, I put my Arundel Towers in these videos more times than most of my friends ever have. I know that some of the top reviews for these towers, those guys only own them for like a month or two, maybe 3-4 months, whatever the time might be, and then they get rid of them because they're so busy they don't keep the shit. I own them, I bought them, I have them in my system, but Arundel won't put my advertising, my videos in their stuff. Why? Because I sound like this. Just, that's the way advertising is. You gotta, like, everything's got to be clean and presentable and fake, whatever. I do what I do. I'm honest, and I don't hold back from that. If that means that my journey is longer, that my journey is tougher, that being honest means that I don't get included, that says a lot about the business if honesty is not what they're looking for. That's really, really, really interesting sort of feedback. Anyhow, that's an hour and almost 20 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. And once again, shout out to Scott and Kat. Thanks for the shirt. I appreciate their channel so much. Bringing people together, showing bass demos, doing the fun stuff. They just hit 20,000, I believe, so shout out to them. That's a pretty incredible number to hit for a bass channel. Again, in audio, in a small sort of demographic, they hit the 20K mark in a short period of time, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So cool, Cracks, good to see you, dude. And True Voice of Reason, thanks for coming to hang out. Covington Race was here talking about his Grado headphones in England. RIP to England and the UK. I hope to God something brilliant happens for our nations and our people, and they stop allowing these absolute moronic, insane people to make life unlivable in open spaces. I hope the world comes to its senses and they do something correct and appropriate for the people who misbehave and act out, making peaceful life troublesome from other people. I don't care which side of whatever fence you're on, that's fine. If you're doing it in a disruptive way, that's a problem. If you're doing it peacefully, that's fine. Peace is the goal. And usually peace means quiet. Fucking quiet. That's all we want. Just be fucking quiet. Please, for the love of God, be quiet. All right. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much for watching these couple of videos and the last videos and being supportive and understanding. This has been Sincado. He's an amazing guitarist. Go check him out. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Cool. I'm going to give an outro here, just the speakers. All right. Have a good one.